Hey everyone, welcome to another process video. I'm Jenny and this is the layout I'm making today using lots of bits and pieces from my stash. So a bit of a stash dive one today. So the piece of paper you can see there now is from Kaisercraft and it is from the Secret Admirer collection. And the piece of paper is called Demure. So this one's been in my collection for a long time and I wanted to use this overlay which I've got there, and I've just put some sticky tape on the back and stuck it all together. And the overlay was from Kaisercraft as well, from the Bow and Arrow collection, and it was called Chevron. And then I've got some scraps here. So this stripy piece, the yellow piece and the pink piece are all Amy Tan from the Rise and Shine collection. So that's all of the papers I think that I'm using, and I've got a few bits and pieces from all over the place. I think I've got some stickers and some sequins and some little wood veneer and some chipboard pieces, but you'll see them as we go along anyway. So all I'm doing is I'm adding my photos, trying to make a little bit of a photo mat behind my photos, trying to work out the placement, and I think that I'm going to use these two as a bit of a mat, but I don't want to have a lot of hanging out over the side. So this might seem to be going a little bit slow. So this processing, I think it's Movie Maker, doesn't have a ×3 speed. Wish it would have a ×3. So this is at ×2, and ×4 is just way too fast to see what I'm doing. So bear with me if it seems a little bit slow, and hopefully it's not too boring for you. So just sticking some double-sided tape onto the back there, sticking these pieces together, and you saw me have a large piece of yellow paper, but most of it is going to be underneath the layers anyway, so I just cut a strip out and just made it look like I've got one whole piece of paper underneath. So there's lots of people who do that, and it's a great way just to stretch your stock a little bit further and make it look like there's a whole piece under there when there really isn't. So this little piece here with the triangles on it is also from Amy Tangerine. So that was some bits and pieces left over, so I'm just trying to work out the best place for that. And the fabric overlay, it's not an overlay, come on, what is it, Polaroid frame. It is about 10:30 here at night, so it is really late. So I've got to get up early in the morning for work. So do forgive me if I seem like I'm not really knowing what I'm talking about. I think I've slowed down for the evening. So the like the Polaroid fabric frame, that's what I was meaning to say, is from a Maggie Holmes collection. That's an older collection that I have all these frames still in my stash, so trying to use them up. And I've got a few little tickets, I think from a Crate paper collection, and those books there that you can see to the left is from a Chamel collection, and just trying to use those up. So I don't know about you, but when I start to have a look at what I actually have in my craft room, there's no way I could use it all, but I still buy new things as new collections come out. So I really want to challenge myself to start de-stashing. So I've done lots of stash dives before in the past, so I think the next few videos from me are going to be some stash dives, and just use bits and pieces that I have, especially bits and pieces that I really like and had intended to use in the first place. And sometimes I've got collections that I bought because they were cheap and I didn't particularly like them, and I've just bought them anyway, and I'm really trying to stop doing that. So unless it's something that I absolutely love, I'm just not purchasing it. If I like it a little bit, I'm just not going to go near it, because chances are it'll just sit in my room, in my stash, and I will do nothing with it anyway. So I may as well just get the ones I really love and make the most of those. So that's what I'm doing. So I challenge you to pull out some of your older stuff that you love and make some layouts. You know, put together a kit of all different bits and pieces that, you know, don't necessarily coordinate together, and make something beautiful from them. So, you know, I've got some Kaiser Craft here. I've got some American Crafts. I've got some Basic Grey. I've got some Graphics 45. I've got some Pink Fresh Studios. You know, so it all, as long as the colours coordinate together, you really can't go wrong in putting stuff together. So the whole layout goes together perfectly fine, and you wouldn't necessarily know that it wasn't a collection that works together well. So I think one of the tips that will help you with that is actually stick to a few basic colours. So I've really in this layout stuck to the aqua and pinks, and with a little bit of yellow in there as well. So I haven't introduced too many colours to confuse things around. So as you can see, I have cut up a doily, cut it in half, and I'm pushing this other half around this whole layout, trying to find a place for it to work, and I actually don't like it. So I just have the one, but you will see me pick it up time and time again during this whole layout and trying to find a home for it. But I don't make it, or it doesn't make it, I should say. So I don't like it on there, so I just leave it, knowing that I will put it to the side and make another layout. So I guess I could tell you about these photos. So basically I've gone through some of my photos because I've talked about it before, about the fact that I'm just running out of photos. So, you know, it happens. So I've scrapbooked my kids' photos. I've only got the 2 children. I have been scrapbooking for years. I've been caught up for a long time. And, you know, if we don't take photos, I can't scrapbook. And so now that my daughter's older, she doesn't really take selfies of herself anymore. She doesn't really take photos. She doesn't really want them all over the internet. And so therefore I don't really have many photos. So I've gone back through some of my older photos. I might have scrapbooked them before, not exactly sure, but I just thought that I would pull a few out anyway, the ones I think that I haven't, and just scrapbook those. So the photo to my left hand side, which I hope is the same for you, is a photo of a pile of books that my daughter made for Christmas. So it was, I think she got the idea off Pinterest, and it's a Christmas tree made out of books. So you just open the books and lay them like text down and decorate it with some different Christmas decorations, and it just looked amazing. So it was a fun little crafty decoration to make and decorate our house out at Christmas time. And I actually think it was a couple of years ago that she made this, and so I just thought that I would add a photo of her as well and just document her craftiness, because she's very artistic and crafty, and you know, it just makes me happy because she decorates the house really lovely on different occasions and when it's Christmas time and things like that, and just, you know, does a wonderful job decorating. So that's what this layout is about today. So here's some, so that flower that I've put in the middle is actually from Graphic 45, and the little speech bubble there that says "I think you're amazing" or something like that. What does it say? Yep, "I think you're amazing." That was from a Hey Girl collection by Basic Grey, as well as that little flower there to the right hand side. The little leaf there is from Amy Tangerine, and I tried to use this epoxy one but couldn't find a place for it, so I just put that one aside for now. And the camera to the bottom right is a fabric camera by Dear Lizzie. See, so I've got a little bit of everyone in this one. So I'm just sticking a little bit of glue there to make this chipboard flower stick down. Make sure it's not going to move, because sometimes the stickiness behind those chipboard shapes, they don't want to it doesn't want to stay. It loses its stickiness. And I've just grabbed a couple of hexagon, I think they are, wood veneer shapes, and I'm just adding them to the layout at various points, adding a little bit of dimension and a little bit of different texture. And then I pull out these epoxy shapes, and I'm going to add a couple of these gold hearts to the layout. I'm just working out where I want to place them, and I put 3 in there, so I've sort of got 3 little cluster points, one at the left hand side, one in the middle at the top, and one at the bottom right hand side of the photo. So just sticking down a little piece of paper that I had cut from one of the Amy Tangerine pieces, trying to put this little fabric strip down as well, but that doesn't work, so I put that away. And having a look and thinking about what I might like to use, and I add some journaling. So I'm just journaling about the fact that I love that my daughter is so creative and that she loves to make things and makes the house look pretty at different times of the year. So that's basically that. And then I don't necessarily like the fact that the journaling's there. So I've made it, unbalanced, I think, with the fact that the top yellow strip has no black writing on it, or nothing black on it. So I might come and fix that at a different stage and maybe put a stamp or something on it and just bring a little bit of black up to that area, but I haven't for now, and that's okay. So I think a lot of us who are scrapbookers can tend to be perfectionists, and we would love if every layout was perfect, I am sure, but I really try not to let that perfectionist side of myself come out too much, especially with scrapbooking, because it is something that I enjoy and I don't want to make it something that I find a chore. So with things like that, it's like, oh well, that's probably not so balanced, but that's okay. I'm happy with the overall look of the layout. I'm happy with, how it's turned out. So, I'm happy. So I think that's my challenge to you too, is to not be so hard on yourself and just to give yourself a break and a pat on the back and just, move along and see that it's 99% good. So, just let it go and keep moving. So I'm just pulling out some black ink. I've put some Pink Fresh Studio little wood veneered dewdrops or something, I think they are, down, and I'm just adding my black ink and I'm finished. So I will leave you with some stills, and thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you have a beautiful day. Bye.